Good morning. I want to talk about something that is very important today. The Great Commission of Christ Jesus has begun. Be part of the many that are going to be touched by His great power and His grace. For indeed His grace shall sweep across the earth, and you cannot be left out. What are the challenges that our generation is facing? I look around and see many things that are going wrong. Let's talk about our nation. What is the problem of our nation? Our nation has been independent for over 50 years. Our people were born in poverty. Those that are 50 now, or 53, were born in poverty. Today we see the same kind of poverty going on. For over 50 years, our people have lived in poverty, hopelessness. Many have died while laboring to have a good life. What is the problem with this nation that our people have continued to dwell in poverty? I ask a question. It is a case that which nation is under, has been, that our forefathers entered into with the throne of the devil. The good news is, this case is broken. The Lord is about to do something very important. Look at our state of affairs. People have been in government. Since independence, we have people who have entered office, come out of offices, still our people remain poor. We see helplessness and hopelessness around the country. Our leaders always move at the time of elections, since independence, to come and tell us how dear we are to them, how much they want to help us. It is a shame that for 50 years, a country that can be called independent country can still be in poverty. People are dying out of hunger, illnesses, disease. Many people cannot even afford education. What kind of generation are we trying to produce? Do we have anyone to complain but ourselves? It is a shame that someone can stand as an independent, as a member of parliament for over 3 terms, which is almost 15 years, or 15 years plus. Looking at the poverty levels that are across the country, someone will still come and say, I want to stand again. What kind of evil is that? What kind of representation are we giving our people? It is very shameful that you can stand for 2, 3, 4 terms, be a member of parliament. You entered parliament. Some of the Zambians were well-to-do, were better off than you were, 10 times better. In 5 years, you see yourself become 100 times better or richer than they are, while the masses remain in abject poverty. Can there be a greater evil than that? Not necessarily. It is a shame. I speak to our leaders, both in government and in the opposition. Reflect on yourselves. Check yourselves. What contributions have you made to this nation that deserves you to go back to the people and ask them to vote for you again? What kind of contribution? It is a shame. We must be ashamed of ourselves. We have countries that got independence later than us, but they are doing very fine. They are doing better. Our people cannot continue to live in poverty. Yeah. Time for a weeping has come. For God himself shall take the reins of this nation, that his people shall get out of poverty. Are you a member of parliament that has been standing and you have not achieved anything in your constituency? Are you a minister who has been in 2 or 3 governments and see your people in poverty? You have to know that your time has come for you to leave the reins of this nation and do something else. For indeed, people need representation that shall benefit them. I do not see sense in anyone who has been given mandate. He entered into office when his people were still poor. He has been there for over 5 years, over 10 years, and his people are still poor, and you still want to represent them. Are you really representing them or yourselves? What about the numerous fake NGOs around this nation who are only feeding their bellies? Their only intention is to oppose government so that their donors can give them money. Which kind of people are you representing? Shame on you. You claim to represent the masses. Which masses are you? You are driving 4x4 cars. The people you claim to represent are not even having 2 meals in a day. What kind of representation is that? If you are not doing anything that is meaningful to this nation, the best you can do, instead of deceiving people, is to find a business that you can do rather than feeding your bellies using the voice of the people that you claim to represent, that do not see the benefit of any of the things that you do. You campaigned vigorously on the Constitution, telling us and making us believe that you want us to have a people-driven Constitution. When the Constitution is implemented, you're the first persons to cry the same Constitution that you campaigned for. You're the first people to cry that the Constitution is not a people-driven Constitution. Are you serious? You claim the president has too much power in this nation. Do you really know what you are talking about? We have ignorant lawyers around this country who want to pretend that they know what they are talking about. What kind of education have they acquired? You cannot claim that the Zambian constitution gives the president too much power. Are you serious? The country that claims to be the most democratic country, the United States of America, has its president as the most powerful man in the world. Do you know what gives him power? It is the Constitution. Look at what is happening in America today. Trump is being investigated over the collusion with Russia. You know what he said? He said the Constitution gives him mandate to pardon any of those people that they're investigating in case they're found guilty. The Constitution of America gives him mandate to fire the one who is investigating the people that supported him. The Constitution of America gives him absolute power to stop any investigation anytime he wants. This is a country we say is most democratic in this world. So what kind of democracy are you talking about? What kind of liberties do you seek?